Many of us have had goals for the longest time that we keep rolling over month after month, year after year, despite the fact that these goals are big goals that we truly desire. However, we seem to make no progress. I have been in this same cycle for the longest time until I discovered what kept me stuck, and that is what today's video is all about. I'm going to be sharing certain things that keep us stuck in our goals and what we can do to overcome it. Now, the very first struggle that keeps us stuck in our goals is the struggle of perfection. Oftentimes, we're looking for everything to be perfect on paper. We're trying to have everything before we get started. We want to cross all the T's. We want to dot all of the I's. And that's not how it works. You only need the first thing and go get started. And once you start, the next step will unfold itself. And so for the longest time, when I have a goal, I will sit down and I'll try to figure it all out on paper. How am I going to make this money on paper? Let's say I'm trying to get a goal of maybe $500,000 this year. I'll try to figure out like, what are all of the things I have to do that'll bring me this $500,000? I'll break it down into, monthly goals. Is it possible for me to make this money in a month? And I get stuck when I'm not able to make it make sense, when I'm not able to see how that goal is possible within the time frame that I've given to that goal. And that keeps me stuck. And now what I've been doing recently that is working for me is just to get started. When I have a goal and I have a desire, I have a strong why, after that goal, I get started without knowing everything. Because I've come to realize that I don't have to control all situations. I just need to know what I want, be specific about what I want, and just get started, whether I am ready or not. And that's what I want to encourage you to start doing today. Just get started. Once you have your goal, once you have a strong why, and once you understand the benefit of having that goal, and you feel so strongly about it, get started. All you have to do is, what do I need to do today? If what you have to do today is researching, if what you have to do today is speaking to a friend, if what you have to do today is taking that first step, just go ahead and take that first step. I was listening to a video and the lady was talking about a Bible passage that talks about, give us today our daily bread. So for those of us that are Christians, when we're praying to God, we're asking God for our daily bread. And that has made me to understand that all I need is what I need for today. Why am I stressing myself about tomorrow? Like, let tomorrow come, let tomorrow unveil itself, and then I'll worry about tomorrow. So I've started to live my life as, sufficient is what I need for today. What do I need for today? What do I need right now to be able to get started on that goal? What do I need right now to move, to that next level? What do I need right now? And I'm not trying to figure out what do I need in the next 5 years, in the next 1 year, even in the next 6 months. No, my goal may be like a big goal that might be multi-year goals, but I am breaking it down to the smallest chunk of what do I need to do today? Because most times we get overwhelmed by the magnitude of the goal that we have, that once we're not able to comprehend it in our mind, we just give up. And I want you to change that mindset. That mindset is what is keeping you stuck. That mindset is stopping you from moving on and just chasing after your goals. So the right mindset is for you to have that goal and just figure out the first thing you need to do and go do that one thing. Guess what? Before you're done with that one thing, the next step will unveil itself. And that's where we get the experience from. So don't be afraid of failing. Don't be afraid of falling. It's all part of the experience. And that's what I'm learning this year, not to be afraid of failing, not to be afraid of falling. Just try. Because one thing I've also realized is this. With so many trials comes those experiences, and those experiences bring those stories, they bring those memories, they bring the confidence, they bring the courage, they bring the persistence, they bring the consistency. It just all works together, but you have to take that first step. So I'm encouraging you today to go after your goal, pick a pen, pick a paper, write down that goal that you desire so much, and just write the first thing you need to do in order for you to get started, and go do it. Go do it. That is what is significant. You have to go do it without being ready, without having everything that you need, without knowing everything. Just go do it and trust your subconscious mind that it would unveil the next idea and the next step for you to take. Now, let me share a very quick story with you before I move on to my next step. When I started my fitness journey this year, oh my goodness, I had this big goal of I want to lose 60 pounds. And 60 pounds felt like such a big goal. You know, I would go online, I would browse. There's so many things you had to do. There's so many kind of diets you had to do. All of that was so overwhelming that I almost was like, you know what? Maybe this is the new me. You know, just accept this and just live your life. It's not the end of the world, right? And then one day I sat down and said, you know what? This is not the life that you want for yourself. You desire something different. So why do you want to accept this current reality that you do not like? And so my mind was like, you know what? Why don't you just do the first thing that comes to your mind? What do you feel like doing today? And on that day, I was like, you know what? Let me go for a walk. And that day, I went for a 15-minute walk. And that 15-minute walk kickstarted the journey of my fitness. Today, I will go for 3 to 4 hour walks. No shaking. Like, I am refreshed. I will spend 3 to 4 hours in the gym and I'm not even stressed out at all. But back in the day, the thought of it was so overwhelming. And the fact that, you know, when I talk to other people, that was the kind of life they were living. It felt like, oh my goodness, there's so much to do. I can't do this and all of that. But 15-minute walk kickstarted something magnificent in my life that today I'm so grateful that I took that first step. I took that 15-minute walk for like the longest time, and it became 20 minutes, it became 25, it became 30, it became an hour, it became 2 hours, it became 3 hours, it became 4 hours. It is possible. But until you take that first step, you would never know what awaits you. You never know the strength within you. You would never know your capacity. You would never know that you can do it. And that's what I'm telling you today. Do not wait to make everything make sense. Do not wait to have everything you need to get started. That is what keeps us stuck in that current reality that we do not want. We have these goals, we have these dreams. They keep haunting us day and night. And that's why we keep writing those New Year goals. We repeat those goals because those are our heart desires. But because we're waiting for perfection, we never get started, and those goals just keep rolling over and over again. So I hope that today is that day that you're going to make this big decision and just put an end to this stagnant lifestyle and start a fresh life, knowing full well that it is possible and you can achieve your goals. All right, so moving on to the next step. Now, another thing that has kept me stuck for the longest time when it comes to achieving my goals is not writing out my goals. Many times I'll have a goal and I'll put it in my head. And we have so many things that are going on in our mind that we tend to forget. So one thing that is working for me this year is documentation. I am writing out my goals. I have it in a very visible place. I have it in my office. I have it on my phone. So it's so obvious to me that when I sit down in my office, that's the first thing I see. And once I see it, reminds me of, okay, what can you do about this goal today? When I check my phone, it's on my phone. I actually even have alarms on my phone, right? I've set different alarms in the day for different goals and different tasks that I have, that it prompts me to go do something about my goal. It's very important that we're writing out our goals. Write it down, make it plain. If you want to go far, you've got to write it down. Don't trust your mind, don't put it in there, because there's so many things that are craving your attention. And if you've not, started doing something actively about that goal, it's so easy for it to, go to the backlog, and it's just like back there until you kind of see it. So make it easy for you by documenting it. Write it on your wall, have it as your wallpaper on your phone, set alarms on your phone so that it reminds you. My daughter laughs when an alarm comes on for me to drink water, because I naturally do not drink water. So I've set, an alarm every 2 hours prompts me to drink water. Every 2 hours prompts me to stand up and take a quick walk. Because those are not the things I would do naturally. There was a time I struggled to drink a bottle of water a day. And so because I know me, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to do things. I'm going to have to set, systems and create the environment that allows me to achieve my goals. And so I set those alarms. And so every 2 hours, my alarm will go off. Drink water. It will go off. Take 5 minutes walk, even if it's within the house, climb the stairs, just go around. If you can't go far, or if you can't step out of the door, just do something, stay active, move around, and it's working for me. So even when I'm busy browsing the streets of social media, or I'm busy reading, or I'm busy just doing something else, or I'm just lazy doing nothing, my alarm is just going to come on, and that will prompt me to go do the next important thing that drives me towards my goal. And that's how I've, been able to overcome that stagnant life of just being very dormant when it comes to my goal. And right now, I'm very active in every area of my life that I want to see progress. And I'm encouraging you to also do the same. Take these clues from me. That is what, my YouTube channel is all about. Supporting you, providing you those tips, those tricks, those strategies that will help turn your dreams into reality. Now, another reason why many of us get stuck on our goals is the fact that, we are not prioritizing those goals above every other thing. We're busy with so many priorities. Some of these priorities are conflicting. And sometimes when you do not prioritize your goal, it's not going to get done. You have to, be intentional about your goal. You have to do something about it. Just like, the examples that I shared of how I have alarms set up on my phone to kind of drive me. You have to prioritize it, because it's one thing for you to have those alarms. It's one thing for you to create those systems. It's another thing for you to choose to do those things. At the end of the day, nothing changes except we change. Nothing is going to move except we move. So even though we have these goals, even though we have these dreams, we have to prioritize those dreams and know that that's the most important thing we want at this point in time. Because it's one thing for my alarm to go off and say, it's time for you to go to the gym. I still have to get up, wear my gym outfits, drive out the door, and drive to the gym. You have to do that. And that's me prioritizing, my goal over everything else. And that's why it's important for us to take the time to be able to plan out, our day, so that by the time that alarm kicks off, that at this time frame, you are free. And that's why you set that time. So go do it. Don't get lazy where you're like, I'm already in bed. I don't feel like doing anything. I'll make it happen tomorrow. By the time tomorrow comes, guess what? You're going to make it happen tomorrow. And that's how we start rolling things over. So prioritize your goal. Choose your dream. Choose life. Choose, that big thing that you want to happen for you. For example, I have a sweet tooth. Oh my goodness. Like, I love sweet things. I would choose sweet things over real food. And no wonder, I want to lose all of the weight, right? But I had to get to a stage in my life where I had to prioritize my health and fitness over these things. Now, have I done away with all those sweet food? No, I still eat them, but now I eat them in moderation. I'm not going to choose sweet food over food. So I'm going to eat real food and then eat a bit of sweet just to kind of like satisfy my cravings. But every time I'm very intentional and I'm making that choice to choose fitness. When I wake up in the morning to go to the gym, I am prioritizing fitness over sleep. And I'm going to wake up because, hey, I went to bed at 10 o'clock, at 6 a.m., I've had 8 hours of sleep. That is what you need for the day. So no excuses. Get up from that bed and go get ready for the gym. You have to continuously make those choices over and over again, because even if you have all of the systems in this world, if you do not get up from that bed, if you do not decide to go ahead and do that thing that you need to do, you are going to remain stuck. And this year, we want to choose ourselves over everything else. It is possible for us to experience a great life. It's high time for us to start experiencing these great things that we see in other people. We are tired of being on the sidelines. We're tired of not doing anything with our lives. We're tired of not being in that level that we so dearly crave, and we're taking matters into our hands right away, and we're doing something about our goals. We're doing something about our dreams so that we can congratulate ourselves a few months down the line, a few years down the line, when we're living that reality that we have so worked hard for. And that is what I'm wishing for you as I'm prioritizing my dreams and my goals and doing something about it. I wish you the same. I want you to do the same thing. Please follow these tips. They sure work and they will work for you. Be intentional about your goals. Make sure that your goals are written. Make sure you're intentional about your goals. Don't wait to have everything before you get started, and always choose your goals over everything else until you get to that finish line. Here is me wishing you the best. Again, Have a great day, have a great life, and go ahead and smash your goals. I cannot wait to hear how you've turned your dreams into reality. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.